A lot of folks are saying that indie games, AA games are sort of the future of the games industry, and we might see less AAA games. I kind of wonder, like, I guess what is your perspective on in terms of like, do you think that's a good thing? Like, we could see more creativity, we could see new voices coming into the space, or do you
I think
think
it's a good thing because I think a lot of these major companies have stagnated for a while. think about the biggest games that we have right now are games that have been on the market for over 8 years, like Fortnite, Apex Legends, Rainbow Six Siege, Call of Duty, like even the war zones. Like they try to do some new stuff, but it's really the same thing that it's been for the past 6 or 7 years. Trying to think what are the other, like there's definitely another one, Valorant, League of Legends. Like these are things that become like
Overwatch,
season to season, like you're watching a TV show. Overwatch. It seems like a lot of the major companies are still trying to go on like the make a game and have that game be supported for a decade, right? And that costs a lot of money, one, to set up, two, to follow up on. And it's a huge gamble because if you spend all this money to set up the infrastructure for this game and people don't go for it, or they go back to one of the other games out of the big ones in the market, you're out tons of money. There's this idea of like, I always think it's sort of like weird that some of the gamers in the space are always like, oh, no one plays this game anymore. Helldivers. Mm-hmm. Helldivers came out and they're like, oh, it's a dead game. And it's like, it made its money. It came out as an experience, not as like a big battle royale that's supposed to be supported for, a decade, or the Assassin's Creed game that came out, or take your pick of any kind of successful single player game that came out. And this idea of like, oh, it's a dead game because nobody plays it. And it's like, yeah, they finished the story. The devs made all their money. At this point, any stuff that they're adding is for the fans. They've made their money. They could, like Helldivers, they could just stop. They made all their money.
Yeah.
But they want to keep doing it because the devs there actually like really appreciate the game they're making and have interest in continuing and doing stuff. And so it's this idea of like, not everything has to be a forever game. And I think there's a lot of people that are like under the assumption that like you have to make a forever game, but it's like, why? Make something that's a fun, small experience of something that you wanted to come out. A lot of visual novels do that. Like there's no visual novel that's, like Coffee Talk isn't some sort of like season to season story adventure game. Same thing with, what you'll probably see more of is you'll see if there is a AAA game that comes out, what they're probably going to try to do is they're going to have it be sort of like, and GTA 6 has talked about this, driven by player content, right? How do you make a game cost less but still support it? You make the players build their own content to keep themselves entertained, and you offer them financial incentive. UEFN, Roblox, like those are the two big examples of like, put your own content in. If it's successful, you get paid, right? What's a better incentive than to do that with GTA 6? And you might see other stuff come out, but it's a big investment. GTA is, I would say, GTA is an exception, not the rule, but they're also like really, really trying to make sure, because that is going, by the time the game is done, it's going to cost $2 billion, if not more.
I mean, like that is development for like 12 years or something like that.
It's the most expensive game. Like they just kicked it out, and I guarantee you, not because the single player is not done, it's because the multiplayer, like I heard that they were expecting something like 35 to 40 million people playing it in the first 72 hours. Like wow. something insane. And so like the infrastructure and stability and performance stuff to try to make that testable and usable, I don't even like that's I don't know if any other games had that many people on the first 72 hours ever.
I mean, that's going to be a monster. You're going to need a monster of a live service team to deal with that.
You're going to need you're going to need to hire every live service team on the planet. It's going to be insane. I hope that they get insane bonuses when that game comes out. I hope they all buy houses and cars and mansions
and retire. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
You know, it's really interesting what you were mentioning about like sort of the shift in the types of games being made from games as a service to now UGC. I feel like we had a period of time when UGC was popular before with like Dreams and a few other platforms and games that were trying to create those types of experiences. But now it seems like we have bigger companies investing in those experiences. So it'd be interesting to see.